Abuzafo yechiamo ede ba OBGH. Ekoso ejumedie iso ene Sunday, Easter Sunday. Yema obi bia happy Easter. I hope say unya Easter no udi ni ye pa. Minim se kwau die eho ye butu. Ye Easter ba kwa ewo Ghana. Ye ni gie ba kwa ewo ho in terms of holidays no. Kwau die untumi enye de entake. Mema obi happy Easter. Abi ni mo mechiao mema happy Easter. Ena Raskotoka mechiao mema a happy Easter. Me pacho share program we ene na yeni enkomo. Enyum na me boy ne say Africa enkoyiye bibia enkoyiye. Na de meka se Ghana ekoyiye bibia ekoyiye. Enyoma ekoyiye ewo Ghana na. Enu nti no ene Yewo Ghana in focus. Yebeka enyoma enkoyie wo Ghana. Of course, the koyie no yebeka eno ensoso. Na ushemu at this moment no se yeka Ghana economy pa dia na chese enyoma enkoyie no edoso chen enyoma ekoyie. Yede ato ye ho so because say ye Ghana for wo ye dan a ufri Ghana. Pretty much no ebi anka metumi atena me fie adwudwuma bogisemu because afuo mu ho no metimi afiri ho aba betena aha nanka bibia eye ema me nanso so enam se ye friend is saying asem bia ni ho a emfa nipa ho ninti no Ghana nsem no wo se nipa timdi ano tumu na ye ka bi wo ka me ka ye nyina ye ka somehow no etimi pushi mpanimfo si ya nye ni nyina kra enioma nketenkete bia ebetimi aye amana ye yie no eye best se wo beka na me so maka efrem obi ene me na me bedi dwumadie ho chia me ene me was special guest bi oba beka me nsa wa ha ame atisa enkomo we still ano me twen no se obeba me de ne ba mu behu no me de ne ba mu behu no in fact oye obi a owo bigger platform a ono Ghana dan ye die so pa enenti no obeba na ye nyina ya tro ye bo ase adi enkomo ene Easter yi tie bi bo modna na twen na tie bi na tie ensemo a oba beka ye nyina ye discussion wo de your friend is say o messages at the premier me ready ama obi atie ye koso no ye bebie phone lines no ama wabam na nso waba bekasa bi na mumuni anto boase ma me to boase tie de ye beka no ne follow whatever we are discussing na ye benya no wa hane no follow ma me obeti ase afi wo pese obamu a mema wo kwan ama wabamu of course no da bia se de ya na me ye no no wo pepa bi se ebia wo feel se wo pese o join and na wo de send ayi ni mame your friend send a message mame na me fa link ne mbrɛ wo me wo nipa ba ko a metimi de na ka ho beside omo a normally bia ya na me tai ne omo di edwuma no me wo nipa ba ko a me be ka Ghana asem eye wasem Ghana asem eye masem enu nti na me encourage you say bomodina na nya entoboase na ema ye nyina yenka mum yema ye nyina yenka mum na yen discuss Ghana ekwan a ebema na tumpon say ye yesa ade na no you are not being a spectator oh yes citizen so what must say what the contribution eboa ebia untumi emfa wa hoɔden enkonkoboa na mumu no nam se wunim se ubetumi aka bibi no trust me in my you might think say uka enko baabia because the way a udidi atemo a etimi reach out to mpanimfo no that is the same way and I say uka ade a eya they understand it omote enunti no menka se media meka enim entime nka no say it ade a eya ne se unim bibi na wanka tambia meka se being coward ene se wahu bibi unim bibi na wanfa wano anka na wamene ade na gu yem knowing very well say ade kro no enye but nam se wusuro nti no mpesa wo beka eno ne de enye kra ka o ka no kre na se ye kokun kra mpo na se ekun wi a enye den ya no kre ne bedadi ewo baabi ama wate mechia idi yaya oma idio yaya mechiao nana sewa amwate nana ama sewa amwate ena nana Williams lucky mechiao ene mehu se se wanya time ehwe me pacho enehwe hwesua program we pa me pacho me guest why you ready me guest me pacho hwe manim kakra why you ready me famra ma me thumbs up na me famra me pacho wa okay mame me pacho hold on mame kakra na me musa me hu se wa baba to ese me make sure say wa ye ready answer na answer na me de no aba eso why enti yenkoso enti ene no eye me pacho se wo baso na se wo de o submission ba me pacho tie me ye enye edidi atemunti na ye wo ha ono de obeba beka ene nkomo na ye bedi no ono de wono mu ene de onim na oka so we feel say entisa you have the right to say okay no asema nipa yi kan no me feel say entisa enu nti no mema wo kwan anase fa message bra wo de buy bo enu nti ne ye wo ha it's a consensus building so what ma say a democracy ene ye de bu Ghana ye de bu mra wo ka bi na me so menka bi na ye mfa ni nyina nkamfu a we agree to disagree so what ma say or whichever way it goes and I say we disagree to agree however we be put in the bia no ni nyina no eye so what I say enu nti no moma yen hye ne so na afi yenko ene ye ba be ka Ghana economy ni ye be ka ho asem most importantly no pretty much no ye be ka infrastructures wise you better health, you can education. But as long as say the guest near comfortable in any other field that a day economy no a tosini and as a pushing no, we're gonna dive into it because me say me will believe when you move. Now when the videos are into analysis and then normal or you know who yana good it nyanto boase ne tie bi me pacho mama introduce me guest no na ye entwa so Ogoto. Memao, why a good morning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Monday
Hey,
morning.
we are saying essentially we move because baby for your morning, no, na baby so afternoon, as I feel year evening no more. Memo akwa baba OBGH koso dwumadi memo akwa baba.
That's a
Metimu se MCCC na wo sorry nti.
me ya de kitu be se me da hosa antino. Na me sorry dear but na me yen nyeman kiti bi ansa. Into yen kwa na me pese me de me tia me ka se twen me kakra na me pese nka.
Ene mama metimi am wakọ na uye ready a me pacho na.
Kasa me basisi a mam some few minutes.
Me pacho me obesan
me answer.
Don't worry, cry, mami enyenisa. Me pacho obesan abaso ebiemu. Me de no okay, mami nyenise ha. Mesan oye ready a me mano aba esu biemu. Beatrice Gonu me chiao Madam B me chiao pa. Madam Beatrice me sure say we metai hu se ohwe nkoto metai hu se ohwe ne pa we ne fan eni nti ne stay tuned pa na matwe no e de na aba ha no mo yo. Said ye medi kan kai and ye ba be kan ye be din komo about Ghana's infrastructure basis this year can then we be busa said then your friend is infrastructure cost it was a then infrastructure sem no crampon a bibia it involves a construction wise no so what you say adie bia it does say you build the road new building road building new repairs bibi ti say demolition ye be demolish ade a ebia aye old a esi ho anase building aye old a esi ho anase road a ye fi say road no ehu hia bi mu no na ya yi afri ho anase be repair so you try anka it consists of your railway lines e wo Ghana nyina it consists of your roads network e wo Ghana nyina it consists of yen buildings as a matter of fact national buildings are a Ghana kosu enyina your school building your hospital buildings so what you say and no ni sa nyoma na ade bia emaya a decide say pese ekona nimu no emaya a decide say pese efa ne ntuma pafura no these untumi emaya ntumi obmete sa nyoma we so what you say untumi enka say oye mine opese only omo either so omo ye middle class developed countries and I say developed countries no person only omo compete opese obeya sa nyoma we ye ade a e wo se o ye government a wudi wani ekoso nti ebebusa ya ho say are we seeing any change in NPP era you know so what I say are we seeing any kind of development and change in infrastructure wise ye hu bia na so what you say, mind you, say along all these things, no, yet the road network into perspective abambo hu road network no ehu here because say your road enya me the example road nya that means say there's a lot of accident na ba the koso so wo kwan no esua e ka hu bi enti in putting all these things into perspective na ye betimi decide ye betimi abomode aka ho asem na afa ye wi ane ya TSC health emu smart ma say ni ya TSC health mu ye TSC health emu a ye musa ye ho say health wise no enioma e koso sesi a e wo Ghana no ba bia ye du anke ye wo 65 years no ye wo 65 years no okay why you ready enti mama men sanfa no enka ho okay ye wo 65 years no ho health system ye nya ya na fe ye co-education ye di 65 years ho education system a wo Ghana no ene ye nya na se nye sa na ye nya na kwan be so na sabi ye fa so a enti betimi aboa ameyetimi I drew as a 65-year-old senka oye nipa and kasabi ko retirement. That means he say at that time no say wa one ebre year anka enioma be ha no pa. Mami fancy ya na yen sign your guest no me guest no endi enkomo enso so ewa. Enkoto me pacho ube mama a little bit about yourself kakra because me the best person me who you are here. In fact, me know wedding come over but kakra bi any the reason why me pacho ubeka baby a one reason why I wo I know here me pa me pacho
sepa minia obi eda sepa so mama me sa kwanya receive na endika ne dia seda kwabema wotiefo ne wahwefo no se dan da nyina no omo eboa wo na sebi wona wo so da ye nso so mama wo da ye so no anka but omo aboa se wo da ye so no mrem okay edi amanfo de nim dodo na wo internet no so ye nkotu na nipa dodo na edi nimi na obusa se me ye dai me Ghana ni a because school ye mbibia wo Ghana na iwie edwuma kakra ni ade ewo my Ghana mu try senke bia ya nso ye bibie edwuma ketewa bi nti omo a obi oni mi wo Kumasi abonten so bia no ebi hun se na brand bi o Kumasi onmo a na oye adishare rice ye registered product near ton of Ghana near Nami from university no.
That means we are pure Kumasiano.
Yes.
Okay.
You know. Timwana ja. If you pese ye no your crew ma ye nyamwa no. And you say I said be a cool school no ye tip di boy kakra ntino. You say am fa bibia nto on ye me say be nya adesua bi. Esua nti aha me wono me sua de. So me sua de sisi ne mfa ne say me sua de a disua senia yesi eye okandeni like me sua bibi fa global leadership ho. Nti no na obusami akakra metumi.
That means a monum say ni binna na muhia se mu wie de nka musua na mu betimi
Yeah, me kan ikra master's degree in global leadership. So and yes sua de tie no ye wi a de ensa ka no ene e ka ho asem. De ensa nyankan no yenka ho asem.
Nye den a unsa beka wanya ahase ye nko ade minim se nye den a unsa beka. Okay, ye jump into action straightforward we ye nche ho ye nkoto ye ka ye me pese e din komo about Ghana the focus on the economy ni say na esi koso. And first of all the infrastructure enfanye the first year ye baby. Now honestly speaking, I was surprised because of this me a little bit research kakra about infrastructure ewo Ghana as compared to all these low income rates African countries now borders no. According to ITI, which is international trade industry, they are suggesting say Ghana nim as compared to those other African countries, talk about the Cote d'Ivoire, talk about the Togos, talk about Burkina Faso's. Ghana infrastructure wise, Ghana no nim these countries now So I was like, okay, is this something my report wrongly now because so we share infrastructure Ghana. Maybe in fact, me kasa mejedi pa dia na in fact, edin se mejedi. Uhu ni sen no kre. Is it something bi mfuturo bi na nipa bi tugu nkofo ani ana? E ba che obrem ma me.
That was na. I say minim findings baby potia ofano say bia ofano source bena ofano on say information sometimes when you be kasa na one hwe ni ya ka cho so no kre ade ameko pa ko internet so kra no dey no kre eda uko google abenya dem pese ni party ase ne say ade bia uko google a obehu say eda ho no ene no kre what you say and until na untimi uye researcher untimi nko find information bia keke say ebusa access source o si google what feed because google no enye authority it is say you say ade we uto no o si meto no kegitia so ukra de bi pese me kotobi uto no o si meto no kegitia no are store ba ko pe no so na me che no na che say wo se o ma yehu ba bi poti a okoto ade nti se ye ko a ni ye ko honom ni akwa timi nya omo nsimbisa bi ede ebusa wo mo and when it comes to development enya ade a you with me it cannot be shrouded in secrecy say merci suku minsi suku was west so the picture no me nye kwan was why it is not something intangible tangible ye de ani de ehu and say why ya ye be hu onye nso a be hu enti me pese me hu parameters no a ana say omo yes say Ghana war development because development in what in terms of infrastructure in terms of the person ka on narrow no
okay. So what I did me call International Trade Industry website. That is where the sources are. Me copy the free na the entire omoka said dear omoka in the from my examples are a year and kasa omoma and was say one omode international trade industry ITI ITI omoma example say interchanges are government omoma one example as that omode your friend is Kotoka International Airport another one omode international airport omo AC ewo Kumasi another one omode your friend is saying this particular year musini Kumasi your friend is saying art and industry your friend is saying school musini Kumasi kwada so example so and of course another your friend is saying roads are so some of the access roads are that mantemu almost cited those ones and that is what they say even though me read it from there as at now make a on say I didn't want to believe the almost cano because me name the way I almost process a research to get all this information to tell me that say idea and no would be used to as a friend is saying a young would be compared to any other African countries or more they can say
About it's international trade industry.
International Trade Industry. ITI. Was I will check in on my microphone, my join kakra. Na mole me mawakwaba, Joyce Nim, me mawakwaba. Madam Gunu, medikan abo wodin, Jacqueline Kwete, me mawakwaba, ena, Azobel Zawonu, onso so o share, onso me mawo akwaba. Oh.
And see, you don't rubbish people's work. So say almost say development cost for Ghana, saying Ivory Coast, right? Saying Burkina Faso,
Togo,
saying we say it may be true, but yet in development a bit to me cost for Ghana. I think the Kofu Biswa depending on and Kofono, the citizen, the demand of the people. But at least we need to get some basics. Sometimes we are judged by say you try Abidjan to TV so you may see Abidjan and say on the facial look no everything Accra, but bit me drew Abidjan and also bit me drew Ivory Coast. Now access to internet crown Abidjan and Kwa, but call the hinterlands now unya access no. And when it comes to economic indicators near the you do to say we dear say we no and yet say you share you skew identity to a particular say we drew Ivory Coast no capital no everything. The capital may be nicer than Accra, but in totality, no say be their core nationwide. Who say the people in the villages in Ghana no, have some access to basic some basic infrastructure because me am example na me nana Dibia Kobokin and Tioba Oka and Wagadugu who feni ade but Okasani na so or say class need the airtime right. So development no they say access to electricity, access to water, that is drinkable water, access to education, and access to health care services. Once upon a time, no, Mimi Kopaga Koyadio, and there were some Burkina Faso, Otra Ghana border, no, na Udru, Paga, some few, or no, now, or Burkina territory, no, or calculated the number of hours a bit and sana, or their services, the nearest healthcare service now. It's going to be prudent and rational enough. Say obe cross Ghana border ni mo Paga Health Center.
Rather than say obe call the or no.
Rather than say obe free or no territory na Burkina Faso ni say or call inside Burkina no ako access it. So I realized that there were some Burkina Faso almost willingly no almost can say almost use Ghana health insurance no right. So all these things may be some fundamental indicators that the proponents of and I said the researchers now almost almost findings no. And yet say the facial value no say me call Hano me do plateau, which is it's a beautiful area Abidjan, and I say Ivory Coast or Plateau, or you see a lot of skyscrapers and high-rise buildings. But the judge say, because you have seen high-rise buildings, it is developed than Ghana, you may be making some unpardonable mistake, because development is not skewed through those superficial things. Now, a lot of things go into the rating of a particular country being developed. When you talk of the social interaction, the human thinking, and the hospital, the hospitability index, all those things, come to play when it comes to declaring a particular nation. Say, oh, this nation is developed, because development, a war, a krabata bibria, and yes, I nsuo na wagya light at all. Okay, light no wagya healthcare services at all. So looking at all these things, say almost can say Ghana develop Ivory Coast, they may be right, because of all the underlining explanations are media.
Okay. Let me ask you, Mame Busawa, in your own perspective and in your own findings, why and they say, because I don't say minim how long I be away free Ghana akwakosi. So what must say, but in your own because minim say we programs, we videos, ebi awaka ho asem da. Do you think say as a 65-year-old country, our infrastructure development, akonanim ekodu baby na ebia ye expect say obi anka na say country was 65 years, do you think say do one?
When it comes to infrastructural development, so say for Ghana as an individual country, na say fan compare Burkina, fan compare Ivory Coast, fan compare Togo, I would say that in fact to me, my understanding, there was
Okay.
yes, Bibiano, be free abra inya fahudi free abrofunsem.
Right.
Inya fahudi free abrofunsem no. The roll out plan ni Ukraine and the years in Kibidiswa. So irrespective of the Obaba head of state or president or whatever, say you follow a certain plan, trajectory, you follow the year anka to me, and Kibidru baby passing baby and the year. I didn't know make us yes and kophobia ye see thy name no ye the Atakwame and ye dear Tofapim, which is the foundation. And ye Tofap ye dear Atakwame the Tofapim new year, yes, sub blocks are imudu a DSC Atakwame so. Until we have built an economy a year dangerous if we don't take care, it will crash on us. Why? Because we refuse to make some fundamental economic and rigorous economic planning. And no na ye papa Kwame Nkrumah ye obeji abenya nano. And ye cast back before Kwame Nkrumah bano. Ye nya openyi bi ana or ye Canadian, but not serve with the British government and ye friend Gordon Gadgesbeck. Gordon Gadgesbeck, we say no, Eddie ne plan by ya. Na or person can revolutionize the economy and the informal sector and everything. It was starting with the school system or starting with the railway system. Maybe also as you know kind of railway system.
So,
most of the railway lines no in or Ghana. Of course, the time Nimre NEC Takrade Harbor. So Gordon Gadgesbeck brain NEC Takrade Harbor no. And to share a debate in all those economic and then powerful infrastructures, within the short period now, it was removed because of certain things because they wanted the country to be in a certain way. And also so no yes or yen kwine bi so. Na sa kwine no ke be speedy Ghana development. But a speedy Ghana development omo no nyam faso bi. Tina was o me dey. Omo switch anything na man JP down kwam yes na Gorgesburg no nyina ye plan for akosomo ni we ni dada. Inti ebi mo hold say nye nkroma mo na be ye yemfa no nto ho. Nkroma be show mo no. Nkroma the need say was say ye and to ye. And before you would develop whether the economy of the country, the infrastructure, the education, the health, and all the other sectors, you need a master plan. This master plan, economic policies are obe run out. Policy no baako ehwe the education. Policy no baako ehwe health. Policy no baako ehwe housing. Policy no baako ehwe agriculture. Policy no baako ehwe science and technology. All these things no was unya to te se obi a obesi dan no was unya master planner obehwe so na dia take o profile no into make profile no bia the digger no ba na the machine bi so onim say ha na all dig aha ye be create hall wa ha aha ye be create toilet kitchen e wa ha but say wanya master plan no and say unya master plan no na emom no the obeye adwuma am follow master plan so it can derail the purpose, the economic purpose of the country. So say Ghana particularly the development you advance and now you advance after 65 years. Superficial. If you don't go deep into it, you will see that ABA is the first na ye bia ye de watonchene and the foka ko krase but see basis one ade because on the face value you develop but the interview who say you developing say a year day and ye di oman after 65 years after ye be national identification card.
I mean, if I understand you well, the boss should have been in part of the master plan in order for it to move. No, nanka president, say you are blueprint, or all that you need to see say who follow because it's a idea. The national policy idea to honor and probably be introduced at the end. It is in the pipeline. All that you need to do is I will build it alongside along with it. So what I say, okay, me patch to asumami.
Inti se onyansani bi eye na dia or the plan or rule out in the plans or the be adwuma. So on the no. Inti plans you rule out and don't forget say plans be obey as an individual, as an organization, as a country it is not exclusive. Say changing senior planning. It be in the quest of trying to implement the things o pese we who say ye bibina as and when be necessary say also make some small adjustments or change beer or the bishim. But Nkrumah Shah say or yet the 7-year development plan editor or Shah say from 1963 to 1970. That was the short term. But in the long run, he expected the development to continue up to 1985.
Really?
So the first phase was 7 years to test and see say adena yebeye na ye disa 7 years ni asan sua yem fom so because we were a newborn nation, and we needed a plan, and we no mistakes at the time, no, and continue to be inevitable. Untumi nka sɛ ade a broni abɛkyerɛw a ɔyɛ bi ha wa yɛfa so na yɛ nananom nana ɛdi ahenni ni adeɛ. But this time no, the political system bi the governance system bi aba a yɛyi ahemfo no afiri mu. Yɛn no aborɔfo system a wɔde maa yɛn ne yɛn nso yɛbɛyɛ bi. And so in one way or the other no, yɛbɛ encounter certain problems in trying to implement certain decisions. And also we will make certain decisions today, we will implement those decisions, but may not necessarily yield results the very 2-3 years now you bet at the end. So say one, all the plans you need to also work on the minds of the people. Say at the end every brony is not going to be overnight. So and until so share Kwame Nkrumah voice note be I'll say I never promise you that. I never promise you heaven. Let me say from into 7 years now, or starting a pilot program, housing projects or Tema communities no. A pure example, a clear example of how to house the people, your citizens no, into or the Tema a pilot program. Say Tema system no a successful. Yebe obe replicating or baby be into Kwame Nkrumah the golden triangle mentality be by say we cannot synchronize development across the length and breadth of the country. So what we do is that we have to plant poles, situate poles, and that those poles should be in a form of a triangle into Osipo Bako Tema. A imaginary pool. A physical pool, say a deep pool. Yes, economical, a imaginary pool or develop Tema. No, we develop Kumasi. No, we develop Takrady.
This is a triangle.
Triangle. So that people in the north, the northern sector, development the ecosu Kumasi na spread the north the eastern Accra we no so no Tema a bit develop aba na ba be see eastern water Takrady so be develop aba na Cape Coast na etreko na eba na finally no ubon say development no e be spread this at the end of the day no na abo and until so or the factories be bring good Tema and or the factories be bring good Kumasi and or the factories be bring good Takrady and put them all and once from Takwa to Takrady and Imunwa Takwa Bonsa tire factory aboso Takwa and put them no aboso glass factory Takrady there were a lot of companies Takrady flour mills money we companies need to do no a bi enye aban so in a year a bi or the attractive foreign investors because onya plan for people more outside Ghana near Ghana for no person job scared. If you look at all these plans, say now already railway line from Accra Eba Kumasi from Tema Eba Kumasi railway line from Kumasi Takrady me for railway Kumasi to Takrady me from 3 times and sana ego. The last time I'm afraid was 2000. That time small boy there, but before you call from Kumasi to Takrady, my full sleeper no ni winning na edoko fabugo so Huni Valley now the kwa kusi no Takrady port honum Kojukru. And from honum so nanka I linked the two from Takrady to Tema. It was a triangle.
And then the Namsono, right?
Yeah, railway line from Accra to Kumasi. Starting again from Kumasi to Tamale, any headache. But I didn't say, you know, real line into me, yeah, or can't want somebody a year intro. So, person or building economics, be our one, the prime focus, and also making sure the workforce, no, what do you with the citizens, no, in Nippon, so almost spending a lot of money on food. In America, what you know, a piano for. Because a pianiji wa ketue nyinara, you'll be piano untumi. Untumi next can be into one wabuano na why so also to be a juma. Emma, a yet say the government cannot provide job all by itself.
Aha, minchawano. Aha, yet, you know. So, what share your friend is saying, private sectors, so private companies now, and no, ekuta American economy, no American system, no, so private sectors in ekuta American economy, no, because it is so much say government a juman kasa krampo no and that and also be brisa. What was it? Remember to us, mammy.
Sir, and never win in a course. Why? Kwame Nkrumah buy no obehu say Goggisberg mu be yebi. On na Goggisberg de no kra de ache. Aden Clark ma Ghana full rain fi say on. Ya na say oh adena Kwame Nkrumah enyai abrofo no amomo antena. Enye say Kwame Nkrumah na enyai abrofo no amomo antena Ghana honum no. Abrofo na nkasa no na omo nti Ghana.
Omoa me bawo. Abrofuna. Yeah, we're talking about the Goggisberg nominee Sanoman, not Omonte Ghana Krumuho.
Don't live there.
Okay.
They only stayed. There's difference between living and staying.
Okay.
The British ruled Ghana close to 100 years, but did not live in the country. So they were ruling the country from their country.
But I think it's no
imperialism.
Okay. I think it's no more representatives are not Omonte Ghana.
Yeah, they represent the governors, any officials be a bar, almost or more benefit. But not Omo Ankasana, Omo Tigana. Senan Komo Tigana, Nkabet said the na profit Zimbabwe. A profit na Zimbabwe, one Komo Peso Omofa Rhodesia. Those days in San Freno, na Omodi Omo crew, Peso Omo for South Africa, no Omodi Omo crew. I didn't know Great Britain for the cotton Zimbabwe. Na Omo Ghana. And intino Oko Zimbabwe structures in Sisi Krum Honoman. Most of them near blacks in the building you. And yet because of na abrofun wo no mo coach wo ye bibia honoman. And untia look at Johannesburg, who say aha abrofun tna ho. But Ghana no tell me say City Bay na abrofati hono. No maskata omo because omo be fa de omo pe. One, they saw say the eastern part na no more war control Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, South Africa, and then sa hono no weather no na fever omo. Now weather wo Kenya e fever British no. What I say? Ain't no omo move ko. Ain't a lot of those countries now who say Oko Zimbabwe who South Africa who na no. British need for Ghana for Nigeria for Canada because I don't know what
I see. Hold on, as I thought, yeah, you didn't come up. Oh, come on. Me na. There and come I deny things. I believe some follow in a sense say. Go to can't. The history ankasa, the core history. So ebi ana wunti unim the way a history ni sitie. Or can the core history ankasa ntimpa mo nyanto boase na mo mayintie ni yi. Na yemfa ntoto ho se de beya in just in any case say unya opportunity na me I'm stressing because most of the time no enipa nya opportunity a na ne refi adia e wo se oye because say wako hunu sa afi de sika bi free baby ba ma ne di bi nti no ne refi sa ade a oye nti we ye bo history from mu to the opportunity na no wabusa wo say ade plan na da ho no ubetimi a effect change bi wo mu ana ngoto to aso ma me
It's coming back to the story now, the economy in the building, because you cannot build the economy without making fundamental preparations. I know the here. Until Obibeka says, oh, go straight to talk about the economy. The person may prepare, say, your problem now, your team as a country in economic wise, it did not just start in a day. It has some strings via a underpin the way and manner we see the status of our economy. And those are the very things and Nkrumah try say will be years and your money free home. Because no economy ni say economy no our creative or Ghana no any economy it's always going to be dependent on the colonial masters economy. And offer gold now the core Unsi factory. Offer bauxite now the core Unsi factory. Offer cocoa now the core Unsi factory. And the moment you try to process one agricultural produce into 2 or 3 forms, you are creating chains of employment. Diama broni krum adwuma busu ni say obi befa cocoa free Ghana. Now all the cost Switzerland one the ocean food technology ewo university na obenya adwuma. The ocean biochemistry benya adwuma. The ocean oye chemist ebenya adwuma. The oye engineer or mechanical engineer obenya adwuma. The oye civil engineer oye construction works no obenya adwuma adentia. Factory na yebisi no. Builders beba home, masons, plumbers, electricians. All these group of people beba sanko footing nan a occupation. Once a year occupation, it creates job. And no now. Say you start to say you see factories na you see a processing cocoa into chocolate. You could see food technology, how to convert cocoa to chocolate when you're juma. After Obi so beka say cocoa no ye senya bi a yebetime cocoa butter wom. Ye chenyi cocoa no asan yi bidia cocoa butter no obi fofo nso benye adwuma. Yemfa eni nyina nto ha de okosua business administration no ono na be make sure say watoto nyoma wo company no. De okosua accounting no ono so behwe say sika e ba company no sika eko ni nyina wonye adwuma. De okosua friend say publishing o designing box packaging material ye the chocolate ni sim ye cocoa butter no ni nyina ye chain of employment into one say cocoa ba akope no adwuma accurate of Switzerland. But one do ye na you try na ye the coin and no ano no say ye ubenya cocoa ho fa so biwa this ye say be data ye to cocoa. And these were the basic things Kwame Nkrumah basic things Kwame Nkrumah was involved. All left raw material they could bruni krumwa. Primary products no emma woshi. So would ye only motive grass cotton yomana convert it into a nyomana and cowbecquaco crayfree brunin my son. Confirm machine nebra bisi krum. Nay senia also call for no more tech noa almost mechanical engineering no. Se machine ni process kuku na baby break it down yen kofre seamstress ye be frame mechanical engineer. Se engineer no call adwuma na accommodate no call canteen no koditia ye be frame caterer. One employment e de beba kronimu. Enu nti no de oye caterer no so be hia obi a ye didi wie wo mess honum no a oba be cleaning ho. E de na cleaning job e busu abrochi no. Oh, these are the basic economic planning and no and a touch base with the citizens, because you cannot have all of your citizens being engineers or teachers or lawyers. Vast majority of your population will do manual work or blue-collar jobs. Some blue collar jobs, no, and also create no crew. One create two crew more. At the one, so woman added to us one year could process cocoa near the brow, you could process cocoa butter near the brow. What is going to happen is say, Ada obeshas, yes, say, obey cocoa butter nibino. Now your people have already developed extraordinary taste for Brunini Dieno.
Enti na asema a wokan gutu ama madwena aba so se enti na almost started ye NPP started say omudua emo ewo Ghana no enti me hold no because the
taste, no?
yes
we could not control the taste.
Follow me pacho kosoma me.
Nkrumah wanted to create a certain belief and mental revolution. Nkrumah wanted to change the minds of the people by taking a bold step. Enti oba no be hu ye no eno hu say me the factory be si ho no mo a me nkofo be nya adwuma ye no be nya adwuma ye ama na buso na factory no so no or try to use the factory in the economic sense no or blend it say or better say or bed ye differences in culture in traditions no or the be say economy ni mo a o si leather factory o Kumasi a and see another leather tanning factory Aveyimi. Inti driver no or the leather tanning leather no aye the color na ye into different forms no. Say offer car no free anguna memo no or the back Kumasi in the process no obetimi abehia asantini ba no aware no na omo so that don't culture differences ni tribal dominance ni ethnocentrism ni sa tribalism no ni be free or the factory tomato factory could see techiman a friend say wenchi nti wenchi for no so you process tomato ni no okoye distribution bi abese no fa obenya enema for flat. So this is what we do to create and to use industrialization to harmonize to create some kind of peace system into when some economic factors are not Nkrumah or best to say and a fufian to ata any two no ye two no dear wasn't here and wasn't here full plan a Nkrumah near time no you cannot hate knowledge. Mama architect aboka aye plan now and now the office mason na wabeji musika wo ye adwuma no osori a onya daje embetina adwuma no honye osori a no atu kwan kɔ ha osori a no atu kwan kɔ ha sei osori a no se mekɔ ayi eni se ogi adwuma no free mason no ho a does it mean say e wo say auto plan tutuni ana plan de enye hwe o si mason ni nya daje ma won fa nya adwuma na je plan no ne former mason for ne hwe say sa mason for obedi sa plan so no aye no pepepe te say die o ma wo architect no you know and sa development 7-year development we say one of say or the renowned individuals who at that time na omo economists of the world ba could be omni friend of Arthur Lewis na or you good or you African or you Trinidad near na also you good in economics or boa say Nkrumah chichiri it ushe the way you see shas and baby still this no yaka actually be say 60 years.
It's almost your age na yenya no.
Yes. Because Nkrumah ba Korea has say na obehwe the way na almost say Korea no. Obusa no say what kind of country is this with scattered villages? Or no who say I see a plan pro ni. Nkrumah time no Lee Kuan Yew ye born so say ono chichire Singapore no or Ghana who the way na Nkrumah chichire temane the way we see the rural plans no Busa said wow he was amazed and he was shocked because that time no unyanya sa idea no inti ye den ne baby a Singapore gina no the GDP of Singapore, the factories, the advancement in technology, in housing, in job opportunities of Singapore, Ghana stands nowhere near Singapore. Now Ghana stands nowhere near China, because in the 70s, not China. Now, as we speak, there's a drastic economic development and as advancement across places like Vietnam and Cambodia. And these two countries have been targeted, say, in the future, they are going to be a force to reckon with in terms of production and stuff like that. And Oko Europe and so on. Now, Oko Ghana, say Poland, work visa, the mama for no Poland. Why? They are going to Poland because Poland, baby, almost share say, and no matter, and no prepared towards that. In the near future, Poland, Turkey, they are going to run the industrialization and war Europe on. Why? Because almost as you say, almost economy, the fundamentals now about Miyaka Wasem, the fundamentals and say for now almost sorry and pa almost bibia almost akoye. And no man could started say all the factories able one UP for now say and so one who say ene Kufuor Dubai or see a mono so say adaya or try say obe industrialize the country. Idea will be here say all say 65 years ago. Mona nanomo car say ye to sikagru na adintina ye yes man. I say eneno adea about VW for Bagana or assemble cars Toyota Bagana. Meanwhile na VW for and I say come and assembling plants and chroma time need be your matches production factories no ever predict near matches as say Ghana ye pano ye no Ghana Bonsa tire also glass factory now almost supply glass bottles across West Africa and this year twice 1 year course yeah and now we say you energy to drive the economy and chroma drain and anything Accra baby or the two or say a free baby atomic again you say nuclear reactor stations are now you be produce some more efficient and affordable source of energy. The deeper run system no a better production cost from. And so now electricity board didn't see factory organa grana obey production cost per unit baby the okofa and numa buy you duty grana need the sign of was and would
as a matter of fact in Koto Senka ebi krampo nanka omuko sinu na ne board ya kombefa ne but the fact of the case is say onya energy no as is supposed to say the be run the whole factory ni system na all ye nankasa no onya bi no de aye so what you say onya bi no de aye na no ya omoka say the greco say grado so whatever it is na ho ba asem no omasiesie enti low schedule de ho na no ya me say ready say asam asan aba anyway mame enchia enkrofo kakra na me ready messages kakra na yebe sign atwa so wo ahadomo me pacho semantimi amudi ame ma ubu emfume me pacho ya champon tekiu baba kwaku anas kwaku Ghana patrico munyina me mamo akwaba na afesusu madam Harriet me mamo akwaba Fati me mamo akwaba Janet Sylvester Blay na yeboa Vivian Paulina me mamo nyina akwaba ewiase mechiawo ena nana otumfo atakraki munyina mechiamo ma me read messages ne kakra said the bear abubehu se minya memu atmase Joyce Nim or say hi everyone Joyce ya chiawo ena afi so Jacqueline say hello everyone ya chia wonso so mehu se Abigail say wrong program there they say wabroni me pacho say for say wabroni there na opam pacho but mod na ko ne ko why Princess we say I like this guy Obi, he knows what he's saying. Anti na mede na ba no to bo ase na etie no ewo eho no mo. Okay. Ogoto yanko yamfa your infrastructure and into kakra. Yan dive down into your health system I Ghana. Ne hwa de kakra. Ade ba ko a mahu ni se ogoto minim se Ghana health system ebetimi aye a minim. I have hope say ebi ebetimi aye. But the reason why me hu ni say ebi a enye this very your friend is saying government out so or any other maybe a in a near future be not bad because in a sense say the very basic idea and health system a hospital ye assistant yenya idea a friend is a bed. Now madam fu be quite recently na me tie mu na me busa no it's a time oyare no tie ni o oyare na ye de rush through confirmation no you see ntimi admit no the reason is say bed ni ho a obeda so enti na was a force am I de ne private hospital probably no e bia ke ntimi admit no confirmation anka ongu so atiase. Secondly yen aye nyina ye wo ha enche bia ene ye te se your friend saying Western region from ho baby oba sabi na wafa afuru a okwa akowo nanka wose ye transport no from if you kwada hospital to Accra emane babewo along the line na ye de ne kono because of sika 600 Ghana cedis or so ntino edipa no timi ehwere ne nkwa ma menkfa wo nkwa achi na metie baabi ama me nyan se ye Professor Mills, President Professor Mills, Sebi NDC, Professor Mills, president, time the office o collapse ya odaho. It take almost about 20 minutes and sana yetimi abenya edina beto kamu ambulance befa no not just common oxygen a yedisi nipa so ne bi ni ambulance no mu. Enti yanya instances bebrea nanka ebe buasenka ebe no be put you on the edge to make sure say your health system na ewo Ghana no enko yesa because ye shemukina and so because some penimfo no they have the privilege say omo yare a omo ntena Ghana omo nim say definitely the health system ne nya nti no omo betimi atu kwan aba western world amanone any your friend is saying Dubai no makosha omo hu nti no to me ne dia me hu ni say esim say omo agya no ajeje mu ana ewo ho. Do you think say the way I see running health system in Ghana no is it anything to go by ebeye ye ebetimi aboa ama just a common person a owo ho okudru hospital okudru clinical or why ratio mu se kwa me kwei menya obi ame ahwe no sabi se okọ hospital wo Ghana menyi ni se wonye obi a uwo sika anasa oye politician bi ni ade a menyi ni se yetimi ti ani ehwe wo yie ti se sa nipa no eba eho no ka ho asemsen ewo ho nkuto me pa chawo.
On talk of health sector na ewo Ghana na so o ka say o gidi say be yi anase enye yi no to me no you enye yi system na nkasa na ewo ho no untimi ntena echi nkasa ebigi and na untimi kan chance say enye yi why in drastic direction from a leader in drastic direction say and the phone I can the phone ebe yo mo adwen say one omote health sector no ankasa omote ase two tiasi adeɛ na ya afa ho. 3 ɛkwan bɛɛ so na bɛfa so a ɛbɛyɛ efficient na serve the purpose nti a yɛde wo ne me taxes ekusi hospital si baabi. Enipa biara yɛ kwadwofoɔ ɛna nipa biara no pɛ sɛ wogyae no na nka ɔyɛ deɛ wopɛ. Health sector no ɛnyɛ mfidie no na ɛma hospital yɛ hospital. Na mmom ɛyɛ nipa no a ɛwɔ dandua ne mu no. Sɛbi obi bitumi aba akɔ ayaresabea bi a obɛduru no na mfidie a wɔsɛ yɛde yɛ operation koraa ni hɔ a nipa no da hɔ anka ohia sɛ obɛhu na nso so no nurse ni bi a obɛhyia nipa no ɛne kasa ɛne ɛtuho akyɛ ne ahofama bi a ɔde bɛ receive yarefoɔ no ɛno koraa tumi kaa mu nipa no honhom anaasɛ nipa no somehow. The problem a yɛfeesi ɛwɔ health sector and it's almost all the sectors ɛwɔ Ghana no ɛyɛ sɛ yɛankasa no nipa no a yɛte mu a yɛyɛ nurse, yɛyɛ doctors no, yɛyɛ health practitioners no, baabi a ɛkɔ so a mpanyinfoɔ no ayi wɔn ani wɔ. Nso meka sɛ ɛnyɛ the infrastructure itself sɛ yɛsi hospital because madamfo bi na kan ɔse sɛ wayɛ w'adwene sɛ wobɛsua adeɛ a yɛde wokɔtena dua ase na yɛde board bɛsi wɔ koraa na wobɛsua. Ɛsiane sɛ n'adamfo no a na ne papa ɛyɛ nikanika no ɔpɔn a ɔde ne books nyinaa kɔtena nikanika dan mu hɔ na nsɔhwɛ ne bɛba no na nikanika ne ba no atwa ase hɔ. Adɛn nti a wayɛ n'adwene sɛ ɔmma didi na ɛkɔ so nikanika mu hɔ no ɛnsɛe n'adwene. Me ankasa ne me brother baako bi kɔ Kumasi Sports Stadium ɛkɔhwɛ Kotoko ne All Blacks match na ɔyɛ adwuma bi a ɛyɛ den kakra nti kɔduru hɔ no Kotoko ne All Blacks ɛbɔ match no na yɛyɛ goal no wɔ te wada. And we are living witness we see that stadium. Kɔso pans no wani so tini wotumi kɔtena sports center sɛ wohwɛ soccer match bi ɛwɔ TV center bi ɔhuna ɛwɔ university ne wo me sure na wo Liberty ne Ashanti Hall nyina na that time na wo school no amanfo tumi kɔtena hɔ mo hwɛ program bi a yɛ interesting pa didi kɔso so no wada ɛno kyerɛ wo sɛ ɛnyɛ environment no a aban no bɛma na yɛ extraordinary no na ɛne Canada na America deɛ no ayɛ pɛn ne ho nya for now. Ɛwɔ sɛ yɛnya yɛ nneɛma nyinaa wɔ yɛ hospitals no ɛwɔ sɛ yɛ mpanyinfoɔ no ɛstart sɛ ɔmo bɛkrake whip no na ɔmo krake whip no a directors na ɛwɔ anaasɛ medical superintendents na ɛwɔ the various hospitals and health centers no or ye crack whip no ye punish omo ana ye busa omo questions bi a ano adi a omo so be ma questions no esane akofom akọ services a omo de da no na ebe koso na akọ nurses ne ho eno ene ye a major underpinning problem a drag your health system no down. 2 say the basic infrastructure and as a basic equipment I did here adwuma na yɛde ama hospital ba ebi mu nso so ɛfa no de ntia meka sɛ ebi mu fa saa ɛnema no ɛma obi foforɔ ɔbɛba a ɔwɔ atuwankyɛ sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔyɛ adwuma no nso so na ɔbɛba no ɔdo ne suban yɛ ɔno nso so bɛnya saa nneɛma no na ma ne suban na ɛyɛ ɔde attend to patient no na ho equipment ana gadget wɔtumi de ahwɛ patient no sɛ no nso ni hɔ a usuba betumi ayɛ wobɛtumi ne patient akasa all right good fantastic but untumi ma kasa no nko a ɛnyɛ ne nko a ne nyinaa no back to leadership enti mede eba the point no sɛ ade na hospital ne nyinaa no ɛyɛ saa de ne nyinaa yɛ leadership the leadership is sorry nurse no kasa no kasa anyhow no ebeko se leadership sorry a de offer ennioma aban ennioma wo hospital ho no ebeko se leadership sorry a obehu ehu hia se oye president now o my Ghana ni mu a enam se leadership no enya nti no obedwen se empo mi wa akwanya se metumi akọ America akọsam ho yare a ma dwen ho nso ahu se maybe 12 hours ewo plane mu maybe 10 hours for plane mu ansa na medu be bia me kọ no na emomo no se no emfidie no akonfo anoche fo hia no me koto de ba sa 12 hours and 11 hours amedi ansa na makọ ama doctor bia akọ akọhwe me no metumi am ya hwe no ano ho no a enti ni nyina ye say leadership no enye conscious enough say ombete the gravity of the whole problem no ase but what you say enti atamos ewuye why atamos ewuye because e bia nke betumi aso ano esan say immediate resuscitating gadgets are and was a bianca president the seat of government no and was a machines being a TV a year son and to me any day I'm that's a wish be a leader not last house on no and wasn't Kenya a major be a healthcare center be a well-trained doctors well-trained nurses at least no every now and then be an omeko for refresher courses be a knowledge no mo they will also pass the knowledge on to omo be a confornoche and now range and answer with now the president's name does not see the need say a was a flat top house on ye war ultra modern and state of the art a gadget it taking care of health basic health issues are dear na office wow asanka guano uma bibi ojire no obewu abra ye fani to health center ho ojire no ye de ni betwa nsuo abra ye nye bridge emfa to nsuo no so na ojire no ekwan mu wagye wawu but
me follow
in the health sector no you want to say and bibiano it's all because the leadership no enye conscious because our system one the Kolebu, the medical superintendent, and also the director, CEO of Kolebu, no, ne unya CEO because of saying the political party number and it CEO work on financial because of the political party aba and it and it's a say hospital na ebe share in the papu no political party or bebaso or no appointed the head of a particular health center no or by serve a particular interest be and at the airman appointment piano in one way or the other no or jini bottom sika at the support to a piano a brana or petuni into okotna confornotia and ye confornotina be costing a winyano the momono a binded number two say ni sika be out to me boa man the political party bar you know and on a omra no meji and fansane and you know how on earth say the surgical department will Kolebu the sorry state a daddy woman. Now see a senior medical and I said CEO internally generated funds you bit me the rehabilitating a whole anya major infrastructure changes be it's because the leadership is not conscious. And the leadership no any conscious nurse ni no no so hono onye conscious who is going to make the nurse no conscious say and need patient and kasa was so who is going to make that national ambulance service ni say if I don't demand fuel from any panel because leadership no on fa fuel ne nko and so the fuel ne conscious or the ambulance na ye cry you know ye the ama party faithfuls and almost ambulance ne so and untina ambulance no ye di bi kofa cement no leadership the failure of leadership our health sector no and they call to sound because people see positions and appointments in Ghana as a gift, as a reward of their contribution towards what? The victory of their political parties.
On merit. They don't give those positions on merit.
Yes. There are certain critical, sectors in our economy anymore. You find politics as some go.
Asemo. Asemo abusafo me no mi nyina no was ye dia no tum na ye ka ho asem asemo a enye me obi ene nkoto enkoa na wose sa asem we ye ka e bia na me ka se you might think say enyoma bi en affect you because you are not living in Ghana, but trust me, and yet they are be the obe Ghana and you be free baby a wo no de wako Ghana so who could drew ho na ekotowa then that you will know say kananka e bia wo opportunity to say something no you should have said it e bia nanka the change bi e be den e betumi e de aba. Okay, Oto yansa yanko your friend is saying ye ada ayi so eso minim say ada ayi ye be bie phone lines na wa bra enche amankofo nso so person fra na wa bamu na wa frɛ na ode we ya ba because your program no enwa too much sa enti no sebi enche ne ye de aba we ye akakakra enyan pon ye de but ye be bie phone lines no in the next season. Oto yanko education sector. Kakra minim ne say education a vital idea when it comes to developing a nation. What you say? Untumi enyim free mu. At least the crown no. At least the crown senka obia wo a certain level or even the secondary school education. Before senka eboa ema eman etu empon. As of now, I'm in a worker say, go to NPP government, started, you know, almost a slogan campaign now, almost the year yet to come to power was free SHS. Mobile, almost the OCA yo, at the free SHS, a buyer to almost they are saying, say, to NPP, no, they are saying, say, free SHS is one of the best implementation in the history of Ghana, no, aba. And neya mene wo kasa ngoto minim say wo much idea wo ho. When we go to the education sector, you introduce you free HHS, which is about 5 years ago in you know. How impactful and the impact is see education system way. Has it been your friend is a significant change and answer significant component abuana because se mitietie mu a na chese enkrofo bebre suggest say because say omuma no eko school no free ninti no eye good ade asem na obeka afa sa ade we ho what where ya wo de beba where ya de beba wo ho anything me pacho
Education. No, it goes beyond party sloganeering. Also, what America no. Maybe a Fabia, unam kronimu would know with or without teacher no. O sorry free anopa bia o sorry free won paso pe no asase na wusua de. Upe wumpe.
Exactly.
Yeah. They have made a system to always educate you, to let you know what you're supposed to do in the country you live in. Into education na the classroom education and from Now they compare now. Obi beka say your numbers no grow, you know. Yes, your koye nim say yes, educated for and whether in the formal education or informal education. Say I will say percentage rise now, yaba say nipa do say ni educate you or Ghana as compared to in the past, no, you educate you know, pay no, you just say you can see what is the correlation of the education now you want know to economic advancement? Because say okay, we're educated here, it has to reflect everything that you do. Even can't say we're educated, but to ball a rough. Don't mean because we're educated, but also call hospital a man for the form. That is not education. Education and say Oma obia akwenya na watimi aye di ono pese oye ne di aboa ma oman no akonkan. Esanse se usi abonten na se ontumi enkan road signs aha yenyo nso wa ha na se wo se wakwa akotena school dan mu na wentumi ankan na okodwun so wo ho a you have not been educated. Yemfa no so wako school utumi kan nanso so osan duru honum no you do not urinate here na wadon so wo ho a you are not educated, because there is no correlation between your claim of education to the behavior happening in your community. Because education in will say, baby, any kwan say trotro ujina efa nipa. Education and so second kujina ho. Yenti America so PF America dem ona oba. Unim say baby a ye fa bus ewo ho. E wo so ko na akofa bus. Untimi nkujina kwan finfin na so wafa bus.
As a matter of fact, no, ukujina ho abas na kra no no udu emfa wo.
Say omfa wo. E ho na odu na onia bela no so a onsiw. Die obe baby obesiw no eye baby a ya kire wo ene ono se onsiw. System no kire driver ne say baby a enye bus stop no yenyina ho. System no kire won so citizen ne say baby a enye bus stop no yenkonkofo ka ho ana yenka kire driver say onyina ho. So wo se we educate na say odi tu wo say ene no yakoye ni meba substantively no meba the classroom one na omo inti on a formal basis no me hu ni say education no inti heed e wo mind. We have gone through a school system, but we haven't educated ourselves. And back to say we'll be secondary school, no be here. Meaning in education, there's something we call the formative period. The formative period ni say akrano ya wonwa from kindergarten. But that is the basic education. Kindergarten to class 1, that is the lower primary. From class 4 to class 6, upper primary. Then from GHS 1 to GSS 3, junior high school. Sa enyoma sa divisions dear in the formative period, formative stages of our education sector. Say ubi bet eba send mami wusika send mami nisika na obeko school from kindergarten now to GHS no be re. Now one or no own to mean tree language say infants so school was anti-memoir. Sa nipa kro no anso a ontimi entro bibia obrofo mu and you tell me you have given this person education. What's the dimension?
I'm following you, pa. Me follow, pa.
The formative areas, say Bruni and Nasa Oma 2 Ponsi and ye case I educated Uhunima from kindergarten to junior high and I say middle school level America. Who say abofrano wako education obianua or America say wako school America na untimi nkinkan say ako classroom na say yare bia ni o say your friend be say or suffer from dyslexia na obia ontumi identify letters ni ade a ontumi nkika momu emfa nyai ana say nipa no and suffer from dysgraphia. Say ontimi ntro ye kasa graph in Latin ye kasa graph just right. Any time I bet graph bia just say would be be impressing be. So dysgraphia just say ontimi ntro ana say obia ode numbers emanwa say onkeka momu a ontimi nkika momu a ono so all suffer from adp friend of dyscalculia. Just say if anyone say calculate dyscalculia. Any sa and yama miensa we say nipa no any problem biawo dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia more. And yet then a crack class of from kindergarten. A lion has a tail. To the time ubi GHS no be GHS. Or the book to anyone on to mean kind. And as a leader, no, now who claim say you have educated that child? No. Now listen, coming to political slogan nearing, no, say free SHS, education, no, education no should develop the human being holistically. And what's a bomb say nipa ni bijna no more. So you say we school every GHS level, we have to see certain level of intelligence. So we school from kindergarten to SHS, and we see certain level of intelligence. Why? Almost planning education from kindergarten to GHS, no, a certain body of knowledge. From JHS to SHS, no, a certain body of knowledge. And from SHS to university, that is undergrad, so a certain body of intelligence. Now, say fundamentals, no, you weak. And then I'm say the problems we are seeing in our economy, no, the problems that the culture say, yeah, to atakwame. Once that will refuse, will be a team in one way, will be few. Yeah, to atakwame. And yes, concrete blocks.
I see so.
And after some American in Tribune Beba, you cannot build any solid economy with a haphazard educational system. Economy, no, it based on a certain strategic planning when it comes to education. Because all person omasika nipa butum, all person oma nipa ni aduane. So it is the education that will program the minds of the people towards the development you are looking for. That's what I say. If you want the people to be hardworking, it is the education you inculcate it through the education. You say to abofra ne kwan a onfa so na wanyini a wan free home. If you put in a laissez-faire attitude, I don't care behavior in your student right from the kindergarten, don't expect say akrana onye organized LKG or classroom in foot room or classroom tables in your desk be any writing materials in the hall. You are writing something inherent in the minds of that particular child. Okoye eduma after na sang was your life no from you now. Ebe daddy into a quiet juma na ontimi take proper medical records of a patient. Na o say your health sector in your juma. Why? Or what basic no? That particular person now in future or share patient no. You the hostile kind of teaching and a demand. You the bufu na chia krana die into the bufu ba be nurse ni or the bufu ba be doctor or the bufu ba be politician. Or tsna fimu and the suya die into only no be politician na say if you or unim ways and means or the best solve for This is the education. And the development of every and any nation starts from a practical and strategic planning of the education system of that particular country. The education of the Mayano, a whole economy woman. If you create education, a year politically motivated thing, may your implementation of free SHS so that by the time I mean the first term, no, na enkofono mu no, omo wie school or meeting me so that they vote for me in the form of what thank you are. You will get that same thing in the economy.
It's a idea in other words, no. Every action produces reaction in the other forms no idea no obi be say to abodo gunsu na ni de on sabe kanti de wo hu ni say ase wo ye education but one for the core aspect of education na ansha ase no don't expect say wo be ba benya graduate and ase enkrofo a omo ye very 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 knowledgeable ewo at the corona wo pesa wo ye no because yes ade na wo de share o mase you just let them go in all because of scoring a certain political point in tea. All right. I go to Yentraso. Me pacho mame announce your phone lines, you know, as we go on because I can't fans are babe to say 12 minutes be na ye be wrap up near the abend. Mame na announce your phone lines. Your phone lines in the plus 50959471120. Pesa ofre na ubamu WhatsApp line no ene eguso no obetimi afre na wabamu na also wode wayi aba me pacho ye wo aba bet say yemfa ni say it's about 20 minutes. I'm sorry, about 20 minutes near the aba here.
Say into education now. In 1987, education reform because they came up with a certain strategy called the FQ, Free Universal Basic Education. Free compulsory universal basic education. Now, from 1987 now, make his educational reform normally said by 1995, they got to kickstart it. So they were in the process. And now education in a country is driven by a strong financial base. Okay, because it is a sector that you pump money into and then you don't realize or you don't recoup the money right after you pumping the money into it. And he say, education a baby a okofesika eba. Now that's when you emphasis there.
Dividends.
What you say? And say when you say who educate you be and na ubana ba be a pilot and na engineer and as a mechanical it doesn't work like that. So you ask yourself, say, where are you going to get the funding from? Because you do not want to, if you indeed want to do it as planned and you don't want to go in a haphazard way, you need to get a source that you pull revenue, you pull resources from to feed education sector na oyere.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay, no. Enti, me just na me busa mo say, what structural and fundamental and infrastructural plan and a year for the FQ, no? Say, how are we going to develop our basics, basic education, to me, me who say leader be or stress on secondary education here, but damn for.
Wouldn't be. That is exactly me topic be a maybe me yeah. Or me busa say. Me pacho me no. Why SHS? Adentina se yebeye bibi free a. Ye nimse ye primary sector no. Is there. Why not say yentimi and tackle a honor? At least ye make it a honor as free. Na ye question ye bisiako and san ye move no gradually near the started from SHS. I ask this question every time. Me pacho kosumami.
So, into me Busam say, when the people start to draft or make plans for the implementation of FQ in the free compulsory universal basic education, reform 1987 or during J.J. Rawlings' time, by ABC 1995, now almost started say almost rule out certain principles be a woman. Say 1993 or say 1990s, 87, which is now not GHS Newman almost started with the mentality of GHS, not almost middle school, those kind of Newman, a free ornament. What was the plan? How did they envisage the plan to be in the next or the 10, 20 years? Not at that moment. What was the infrastructural plan? Not on person say what status must we give our basic schools now? To me, the kind of attention and the kind of plan, the kind of development the core secondary schools no should have been the attention at the basic schools. No? So I was not happy when not the former president in ECE blocks. No? I thought say they should have replaced the old structures now a war Ghana no a basic schools. No? At least say you see massive piana a war say you see primary school be a war Ghana be say a one a library. What toilet facilities, and what sporting team complex be a small and yet too difficult to create because Chrome has here and one that time in Nakrano and I mean my Chrome I had that mentality say we have to treat the basic school the way I treat your secondary schools because if the basics not any stronger, Nipanico secondary school no over a waste. But when your basis is a writer, Nipan secondary school krana, Emma Edjuman and Yadin. Now look, who through secondary schools would mean opportunity now call secondary school now that time no. A one now who say, and your man near show primary school now Yadin. Teachers near what university or secondary school honor. They break things down for you to understand. And then a modest teachers no. Almost me train new woman the party as you know. Akogusro na a form honor almost sadia the pantias. Because a was a metias in a metias in a mood, there was a me ye or form wa. Me background teachers now was honor on said until you may be as be prepare and I'm saying more strong foundation. I can meander, I can go through the system. But here is the key say, o pronounce the word be crano. Na say primary no say ni actual udu university na teachers no guy also they will need now to go afina ye bede and you are witness to that. So it means say after Kwame Nkrumah only the Kwame Nkrumah yeah one tier say in education and say the entire or scatter schools need be brain say Kwame Nkrumah will say na school asem akwatwe ewo Ghana inti say ye be pentem ne ye inti no oba no wasi school dan ne tia de si ho it says that time almost the resources or not resources here anyhow. Then you say abrofuni jagana sika twitwi de bi o obi obeka bia meme se oboa and I can debate obi obi mikisa allegations. Say na Ghana uska anka akoso mono ya ankoje bisia wo the Kaiser Group or US and sa Italy for no. And I'm saying yen ni sikantino and ye kwaje bisia $200 million yede koko say akoso mo adino na ka oman Ghana no sika de na yen for sika ko eni ko jebisia na sika bia eni ho intina e wo se ye ntem na ye bridge the gap. Now, for example, na schools across the southern sector no Accra, Cape Coast, Takrady, and you know, even on himself school, the first school a bar Asantememu was around 1838. Is it no? Not 1938 to say 1938 in a secondary school. 1938. And the first secondary school bar Santememu.
Wow.
Yes. Abrofone betna Cape Coast in 1529 and almost 30 year castle schools no. Inti edru baby no until 1860 ho baby. And the first enkwantabisa na oye ose akoto eba na oye royal and one bako guy bi no oye ose bonsunsuba ohun na omo ya adehye ma kwabna nkwantabisa mo ene enkura mienu a omo di kan free Asantememu eko school ewo castle schools la na say Asantememu ho na enwechi the northern belt and especially the free the savannah area hono kono the knowledge gap no and education deficit na hono no na a person over 120 years and school bia ko
as a wide really wide
inti yenya fa ahudi na wo say speedy and nyoma say ye be fast na yetumi enema Kwame Nkrumah see schools no be inti no within best 4 years no na wotimi move double the number of basic schools na one pen so inti odi ye dru ba bi say yenya dru ba bi a senior ye betumi aya at least ye betumi nya basic workforce say you see factories no ye can say onfa we mra obetumi afa ba na afi area ya to ye mboase na sa basic schools no ye developing to a status be and afofia antwata so inti year on year ni benyina omo ba ye no they needed to go back and re-strategize our education by paying critical attention to the formative stages no say you better build a strong basic education no na say you build who we are after the can be a bonus. And this is what Oko Zimbabwe almost try say omo. This is what Oko baby to say Kenya and most of the East African nations, no Tanzania. Now no omo building omo basis into the sense say Accra o Kenya na owie school, otimi school, basic school every o Kenya edu junior high level no is or he or she is able to do certain basic things for himself or for herself. But here in our case, no, how many of the students are almost free basic school, no, class 1 are to JHS almost maybe almost. So the part of the problem no is not say young money padudo and secondary school in me. Almost school what is going to be the impact? Because once upon a time, you know, ya say adie yenya encounter. The encounter now with students or any the education system where we Ghana no, is not preparing the minds of the people. Say, Adina yedi show muchim, ebeba back to build the economy. education na build, it doesn't support the economy. It doesn't support the behavior pattern of the people.
In other words, Nasif say yakofa a different thing.
Yankofa yo, broni ni deɛ na ɔde maayɛ no. Yɛyɛ the sensationalism be remu say. Nkurɔfoɔ bi ɛyɛ education to inure to all political benefit. Nti no, obi aba eti na wahwɛ a, we ba no abɛyɛ no 3 years. We ba no abɛyɛ no 4 years. We ba obi say progressive. We ba or say instant free. Saa inconsistencies now. Ɛwɔ the implementation ni mo no. Ɛna di abɛduru ha. Nti wobɔ sɛ akora bi no akɔ SS 4 years no wawie. Na obi akɔ 3 years. Afei ayɛ bi wɔ wɔn. Yes, obiara no every JSS, free SHS, there's no seriousness. And two, we don't have a sustainable source ebekita for that. Because sika was here the create employment say yeah education now from kindergarten now to second JHS amana you free. What benefit and yenye free akwa what 16 years and we JSS we are not getting any benefit. Factory be any one more. Akwa no betimi akomu no akoye adwuma nkakra bi no de push economy ni kakra. That's the time we do not so person otwa so kra no a the results are bad because within a space of 6 months or the betene fi atwen the results no obetimi yes ye betimi introduce to certain work ethics and in America 16 years 17 years 15 years no na ojina corner shop yet show how the economy works. Yet show how to attend to clients. Yet show how to take responsibility because in the near future, no sooner than later, you are the ones going to take up the mantle from the oldies. So what mental preparation and your dear mom of Frey say or meeting I carry on when the oldies are gone. There's no preparation. And now, we don't prepare the people. Obi a real secondary school, only work experience. Obi a real university, adwuma bia ni ho. How do you then build economy? So, going forward now, I think the government, current or Jobeba later beyond, we have to sit down as a country and plan extensively to remedy this condition now at the top because say obi beka kire say the free SHS no is going to help us in future. Yes, unim owu a hwena unim owu a hwena se nya ukoda ho tim no a bibi koso a wan wi a won tina comfort bi wi a no sa na hwe. You cannot create education a word of mouth. We have to see the impact of the education in the lives of the people and in totality in the economy. If there is no commensuration of the economy with the education now, then I bet to differ in this particular point. Say we have not made any frantic and strategic effort to do critical pay critical attention to our education sector. Now, tertiary plan. What is the plan for tertiary? Are we training people to become entrepreneurs? And if they become entrepreneurs, what plans do we have for them? Where do you go to?
Me a little bit critical kakra in the sense to say, uko the whole say what the whole kind of be a medium kakra beto so. Ya wako ya say ya do eco school. In the notion sa uko school now first school mono ya chrewo different aspects of life. Okay, and ya bibi baako pɛ ne ɛkyɛw yɛ unya monopolize yɛ nkasa kyenkyena asua wei wokɔ so aha kakra wokɔtumi sua adeɛ bi wɔ hɔ no mo a mehu ne sɛ sɛ wokɔtumi sua no bɛyɛ te sɛ roughly ebia 1 year na wa change course no na wabɛsua wei sei kakra till the university level no deɛ mebusa ne sɛ university foɔ a ɔmo free out ɔmo ba out no can they anaasɛ ya te sɛ deɛ wo kan no yam program ɔmo saa sɛ wakɔ akɔsua biribi kakra ntini wakɔ adu university wa bie ni te sɛ ebia sɛ adwuma ne ni hɔ a ɔwa entimi and come up with a nneɛma nketenkete ne ade a ɔmo suaeɛ no to build up something for themselves. Must it only be such a china was a government in the producer now say private sector and also produce a juma for them to work on minim see any time
school
but
this year agree to we you know let me person me go into rice packaging I'm a chance here but un say ye mo na ye no Ghana no abu
right
me hu kwan a ye be fa so a ye be yi abo no afri mu a me chance a ye products ni bia na me ton and I wrote series of proposals say bi anka menya support bi na me dia ye I use my own resources me de koye registration de aduane ni bi call Food and Drugs Authority so homa mo running test man who say ade ni wholesome hygienic and nipa inni kofa yare bi anyede omo check aflatoxins levels arsenic and lead content a word aduane nyina ma omo ma me approval na be ye ne kakra I was supplying to Maximat supermarket. I was supplying to A-Life Kumasi Vitash supermarket, and then Mama Jane supermarket Patasi and ABC Mart Patasi and me better hanyano and me ba hanyana they were calling and say I didn't products na yaja to my vino now nye nam se momu ni ekoso I needed money to set this thing up. Na me what plan say even the husk no a morning no brown heading nka me dey be a friend briquettes ye dey be suja e be replace BDA say ye be solve ye forest problem no na yen say forest no but sika any fa na woko if one na eboa and sa nyoma we are wosemi I need the machines and these are what the physical capital na wosemi machines na ebeyi abosia de free amonim and bibia over set it up no when we school no here be $15,000 na odi atos a machine no me konya obi machine na me de bia wo be hwie no enam se machine nya wo de ana wo de obi machine na ye no wo be hwie no na the profits any nyina no ekọ the machine ye de because the charge na odi ma no too much. What you say? So, and yes, so simple say, Obi Bekana, I don't know where university. Now one casa only be mao. You want me now from the prayer. Only hard working. Almost to watch I say, person comes to be because at the end, you know, now the girls be a normal tea, the next door, your neighbor. Not ne ma or normal school, secondary school. Inti se me konya contract na me ye mo na supply my shops na me frɛ wo de bia no oba ma mark ne kra no 10 cedis.
Is a was what in your create employment obi.
Yes.
But there wasn't any
support. You know, the contract ne ba na me ya. Me ma me obey adwuma me mark obia 10 cedis. And it's a 5 days. And no be ya. Obenya ne 50 cedis. A brank or ti hono mo kwano a and a man you know na what's it ye di omo ye eni sa ma we no e be ma na adwen a ya introduce me to the work ethics no or dey train certificate no say we be twa SS na ontwa nti utwa e be ba no or was little resource bia or dey be support say ne ma me be tua ne school fees kwa no anka no betimi dey to ne ho nyoma nketenkete but me ye no Meme kocha de kakra na meji sika kakra. Na me de say adwuma no mu a. And I say production cost no. Na me nya me sika no kra no. Say if you are in a country where you startup, na say onyoma bi a wo use no packaging material China for the yamame. Omo kra nyoma they use dollars. Na say dollar ni stable Ghana. How do you thrive as a beginner in this particular environment? It's, and it's so easy. I have 1,001 guys that almost take Legon UCC. Almost fantastic and but the support to push them, if you don't hold a certain party card, you may not be pushed because may not here, and yes, a time one and can be clear. I don't know. So if I can show this one. I don't know, maybe Nyan will ask you say what.
I'm so for you so I din komo mamema onyi your friends ekutonyi no me pacho bomod na bear with us adwa odomensa anti adwa odomensa mechia afia ene why late na wo senka obantem na obama ye ne enkoto ye
Enya o share we so dey na wo
it looks like a business proposal
for the
local rice production, processing, and packaging.
Yes.
Projects. Yes.
Yes. I want to say that product the friend of Sinkafa no I o Kumasi no watch brown no and then I'm packaging the say otwa and no answer one and normal to say what more America no unya boba kokra wom and people were rushing for this product. And sometimes you better honey kasa and you say you obi be kasa wa sheda kotwa nyoma na oyede o dia tunu na me de nyoma bi kiro ana hu say enye agro na ye di no ahase.
My main kind away from Ajwa Eho Kakra. I say in USA there are more private sector than hold on, mommy. Certificate of registration. Certificate of registration.
The company and register. I am a company head letter, my company. Letterhead, and I say, yeah. Where there?
Food and Drug Board or more approval, your friends a letter.
And where there?
Certificate of registration of a food product, which is Food and Drug Authority.
And see, I didn't think I was me sorry, na me boka yes I di win na no. Na me sorry free cronimo. Na me better na obi cruise. Yinim di hu ye. Enti so obi better hon na oye did no kika nkwasasem ho. It's like back me aka say me buy internet ni so kra me kra me fa normal we nkyere o platform use na me dey dey. Me dey kire na adi adance ye. Na who be who say where the certificate be
but Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yes. And we the what's the put to that so
okay, Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly omo a certificate
so your food processing ya be also for this certificate we nyina.
Wow.
So they are here. Also for this certificate we nyina.
Who go through all these things.
And I will see there.
Certificate of exporter registration.
My cousin, my brother back up Ghana and we who products now me no J sample they call America. Or call American African shop say what American no. Your African shop bio. Virginia, a friend of friends at Brago. I don't know, say be a woman now. Yeah. Or Beji products ni be or the core, the first time or the shop owner no. Shop owner say a quite best number for so product we need. Because all the brown rice are Ghana no. Not the mimi produce no totally different. Because they're not omodi na odi watch na kasa na yisrimu die no, but eno na abobo. But I was able to solve that problem. I was able to solve that problem.
Uncle Mamimbusawo. That means he said, "Enye nipa no ideas and as a pen or mumpe no there are no force bia or wha a bit put to almo a bit pushy warm because a little sa ode who US ha ena idea we are what creature in their group grata so our product in a can but my mention idea be about China for more krumuha my father at the binchel China for our more US ha baby I'll be for US biano ye Chinese restaurant wo a corner be a fast be a Chinese restaurant or but the omo yen say as a matter of fact to call Philadelphia ha ye a whole big area ye for Chinatown come here say one way na usi hwa a China for kwana ubeka say bia wo China na the omo yen say omo a bank e wo US krumu ha omo bank and what they do ni say we are Chinese near Okoho. No, mama, obosia, what they tell you, we are Chinese in say workforce, no, you have to be able to employ about 85 and 90% of Chinese people. And sana dia can or more on the count. So they support almost self, no, almost support to almost. And trust me, the Chinese people patronize Omuan kasa Chinese stores na ewo no enti eye menwanwa say as obi a oye Ghanaian a wo was this aniswadi huna ade no nipa di adanse no it went wa ukoye na wanya bi and I said there is nothing over there in a form of financial basis ya de boa apushu
you see and sometimes what you know be better na almost say motivational speakers are also tam bia the show be trim. Also I'm saying just more buy na or the 3,000 start 300 3 cities na start printing press and yeah the na me show say and I'm say massa mon kan no kran nchire mon kan no kran fan say massa ye talk me na me wo van na medical distribution what did I mention I say? Me name a younger brother or support me by auto van. Edia kind of honey edia distribution. Massa, after production cost no, a cost rate. All the money come market, obi big the money bias I'm way dear. Alagana New York America, SEM from we be in fast ship and farm reno. Yen left it. And money being from Ren now Ghana near old Ghana now what's the because Ghana New York America no were deep basmati rice, were deep golden rice. Oh, basmati rice crowd to Ghana no who be that. On the mention the golden rice no golden rice that variety of rice a war America man need been a war but san Ghana and you know American say one man being so from UK framing wanted to do investment, and you know, as usual, Ghana for the way when it comes to commitment are different. What I say, I had a lot of people. There was one man, Anna, on money opportunity say every year be 1,000 pieces. No my yeah, na me diamano. So no I check the amount of workers. Ultimate demand to the tune of 2,000 pieces of 5 kilos no. Because now we get 5 kilos and 2 kilos. In 2 per 25 kilos, then we put it in a sack, 5 near the room near their grill. Your machines are handheld machines are the pump. You know, goofy. But we share cost now, Ebanoa. You see, it's crazy. And to me, and never you push you. You push you. Sa proposal krano. That time 2017. Made a copy. Eko koma constituency chairman bi krao. Subi hono. So ewo subi na mekum. Obi na introduce me to, oh, me pambra na one district omo sponsors be the inkophobia kwa yi, but unu amani pushia ma. Aya nyoma na sometimes
we a perfect person for school feeding program. O product no oh god.
Enya easy o. And sometimes no obi ti baby na on creative bibiada on tenase endwin bibiada na omu nim adwen e woni patrim de na nke nipa pese ye ya ankasa kra no de me yiji che wono eye mu nketwa na de pese ye no eye akase enti no na ye pese start fi baby ye nketwa mu machines bibria me kra ye no nyina no ebi wo ha me brother bi o US na ma ye no I talk from ABA on your bino ba yeah because open machines be a pilot program because you not get it to buy in Ghana. What you say? Obi or Ghana Siciano, or catch and say vacuum sealer. They call almost all the shops in Kumasi. Ubusa say open vacuum sealer. Now or say vacuum cleaner. Unim at the crop. But in America, no. It's ubiquitous. A baby vacuum sealer no. And no na obu ha na yes etia o person de nyoma chef fridge mu a o di shemu a na atwe oxygen e wom nyina no na mana ye compact na o di a chef freezer. O ye enam sa e betumi a chef freezer be say 2 years. Nti adenti e na me nya sa de no na me wo me goat farm me sheep farm miamin dua enuane na amoa ne bedi no farm ho omumpie mi wia mi wo me slaughterhouse ho na me nkumwa no na me package the kama na me farm market. Why can't we do that? I didn't need to mean yes sir. And this is why you know be any say the kind of education me the kind of thinking now me want it's not the education I got from Ghana. And Nyoma Bibrimia, I took the pain to learn them by myself. Na oka saying I am konesa enye because all of us do not have the same capability. Say, so nature in its right way, no, select certain group of people. Na or the one are revolutionize development because 5% of the population must feed the population. When the reverse happens, that 95% of the population is feeding 5%, that will be the economy we find ourselves in. Or minus a fraction, 5% of the population, almost person will share on and 95% they have hijacked everything, and the 5% 95 nation woman di ame abusintino you don't care
ti di obeka bia no omo benya oppo ama ba betato.
That's it.
I wish to say kaya what time
me that say
move on, but me patcho me manenso ha I was say yes atimi de obabiem as a matter of fact I was yes atimi de obabiem na yetumi ebebiem krofo ani yetumi ma enkrofo ehunu what is real and what is fake on the ground, because it looks as if say me master bia na me wo secondary school catch me say ya Jimmy for no ye kwa akoye me mumu ye nyansani na sa wote ho na wa meka nkyere esi ye nya ya Jimmy for no ye kokoye a wo nyansani ne ye de mo fret sa Jimmy for no nyina because ye sanity so what you say enunti no. There are a lot of fake, there are a lot of futuro aye to go Ghana for any. Ade ne nya yes ye. Enu nti na wo se menu mi no ye fa si ye ho so na ye mankrofo ete nioma bi ase. Ye bie nkrofo ani e wo nioma bi ho no omo hu se sebi entisa me da se ne wo bae na abeka me ho ema ye kasaye ema ye kire nsemu wo knowledge na wo de bae no abeka de me wo no ho in fact mesua no ma bebre fro I mean gidi se obi a wo hwe me bi a wo hwe me from the beginning up to now no nipa kro wo nso so wasua bibi enye den kra no wasua history kakra bi ewo Ghana ho from Nkoto enso so ewo na me ya adoma ye behwe si betimi asanya ne biem de na ba me ye interested in new product no me pese obetichi enkrofo obetichi ode me platform be fa so tichi enkrofo how to own your own business me pese me do ba biem ne be kasa ansem no abusiafo ene aha enti mejawo amwakọ me no be kasa ewo akiri
me da se pa no watiefo ne akwanya ode amame da obi biase se mo be koso ana mo nyina no nyina ye ne nketenkete se a be kan bom na oman no apagya ne ntuma if asanfra nti me da se so amame sa akwanya no mani so bebre sabi enye obi a ne be hu ne wo ye ewo obabi na obefrɛ se bia opese oni odi enkomo ti no se enipa hu adwuma kakra ya nso ye ya meso meka se me da se o ma me sa akonya no ti ekrao na abedi nkomo ewo achi.
It's always a pleasure, bro. It's always a pleasure. Yo, for my main kind message away from Odo say in USA there are more private sectors than government jobs. I started doing a part-time job in supermarket and clothing store on my own while I was in high school in my teenage years in the United States without being taught work ethics at school. I started working at my own accord with summer work. In USA, there are some schools, stores, private sectors who offers summer jobs. Yep. So the nanguto air cano pepe peno. Or say almost 16 years no. The should be sent away say almost befia ma betina ho ananka almost air chain almost SHS results no. They should be able to workforce na ewo minor job kakra no. Sua all these things, you know, because we be we school. That's just common calculations. Said ye disika and sisamukran ebiana onim. Abusia eya reho. Aha enene obg eche course dwumadie. Aha nene mede besi. Nyame ya adomo a next week ye besan de another interesting topic biem esan ede yaba. Abusia for me da se wogie mre na o hwe yen me da wase se ode o message at the buy ma me ready ye me da mu nyina amase mommo ye chidom na me ya adoma next week ye besan aba na ye de topic a ehwam biem e de abramo e chia mu nyina mo ma bye.